Hi, I'm Doug, and today we're gonna do things. We're gonna fix up this boat. We're gonna plow some snow. We're gonna build a garage. We're gonna do some fishing on a pontoon boat. That is awesome. We're gonna do all those things and more, and we're gonna have a blast doing it. Come along, come with me. Let's go for a ride. Let's go build something. Let's fix something. Let's go fishing. Let's go have some fun. Thanks for joining me. Hey, I'm Doug, and today we're on to our next project. I've been working on some video editing, and oh my gosh, I can't believe how long that actually takes. Of course, I'm brand new to it and don't know what I'm doing, so it takes even longer that way. But today we're gonna go get the RZR. I've got a new flash in my email for the ECU. I'm still working with a company called Warranty Killer, and they do performance upgrades, tunes, whatnot for the RZR. Since we converted this RZR from a 900 into a 1000 as far as the engine goes, now we have to tell the computer to give it the fuel and everything else that it needs for the extra air that's coming into the cylinders. So it's going to be a true test today. It's sitting outside. It was 11 below zero this morning. That's Fahrenheit when I woke up. And so the RZR's been outside for a few days. It's really cold. I don't even know if it's going to start. If it doesn't, I might have to take the laptop out there and flash the tune to the ECU outside. It's still, I don't know, it's at least zero, if not 3 or 4 or 5 below. So we'll see. I don't know if it's going to start. I'll take you with me. We're going to put it in the garage. If it will start, we're going to let it warm up for a few minutes. We're going to flash the new tune to it. And then we have a data logger, which we will, it's already hooked up. We're going to use the data logger. We'll have to go out on the highway and make some performance runs with it and see how it does. All that data is logged. I email that data back to Warranty Killer, and then we proceed from there to make adjustments to the fuel or whatever we need to do. So I don't know. We have been working this back and forth for quite a while now, and I feel like we're getting closer. So I can't imagine trying to do this without them. So thanks to you guys at Warranty Killer. Every time you send a new file, it gets better. So we're getting there. Okay, that being said, we're off. We're gonna go try to start it. I'll take you with me. It's gonna be freezing cold. I'm not really dressed for the for the cold. I'm not dressed for it, but before we obviously would take it out on the road and do any testing, I have to put about 5 more layers on, so. Okay, here we going. Okay. A little bit of snow off so we can see. We are just going into the garage. If we can get it started. Nice thing about these seats is the snow doesn't stick to them. Okay. See what's gonna happen here. -9, the RZR says. Well, that is some cold oil. Uh-oh. Battery's cold. Oh, fired. Oh. Aha. Try it again. Wow. That is cold. We gotta activate the winch. There we go. Lift up the plow. Cylinder head is up to 2 degrees. I don't know if you can see that. Up to 9, 11, 13. We are going to turn 4-wheel drive on. I won't even attempt to move this thing until cylinder head is up to 100 degrees. I don't think it's very nice on the engine to do that. Oil's cold. Give it some time. Air fuel ratio is showing 12.5 to 1. Running rich. You can smell it. You can smell how rich it is. The new tune today should lean it out. I've been complaining a little bit that it's running too rich. And I can certainly tell on my power runs, the top end isn't there yet. And just in testing, I've consumed quite a bit of fuel. When we get done, get closer to that 14 to 1 air fuel ratio, this thing will drive all day on a tank of gas. You don't have to worry about fuel issues. When you fill up the tank in the morning, you can ride all day on a tank of gas. So that's pretty good. The garage. Okay, cylinder head up to 134. We're gonna go ahead and shut her down. Snow will melt quickly. Got lots of drain holes here in the garage that it drains into. The furnace, That's a gas furnace, natural gas. I put that gas furnace in last year. So this is technically is it our second year heated garage in the winter? I guess it is our second year heated. I just barely got it done last year in time for winter. So we had it last winter. Didn't use it over the summer, and now this winter we've had it. We collect the distilled water off of it, the evaporation water, and we use that in our aquarium. So pretty cool deal. Okay, I'm gonna sign off. This thing is gonna thaw for at least an hour or two before I do anything with it. We'll let it thaw out, and then we'll go do we'll flash the new file onto the ECU. I'll show you how we do that. We'll hook a laptop up to it, and then we'll go do some data logging of those runs, and we'll email that back to the company. So, but first we need it to warm up. Wow, looky there. A whole bunch of the snow has melted off. Got the plow on there. We're gonna take it off because we're not gonna be able to go do performance runs with a snow plow on there. So we'll get it off of there, and we'll go do some runs with this thing. And we'll throw some really nice warm clothes on before we head out the door. And here comes the furnace to keep things warm in here. Okay, we're back. Removing the plow is as simple as taking the cable off. Just run some slack in the cable and unhook it. And then there's 2 pins that go in those brackets down there. And as soon as you get them off, this just slides out. Now the wife is going to be back later with the Explorer, and she can still park in here as long as the plow sits flat on the floor. She can pull in over the top of it. That's not a big deal. Then we're back to just the front of the RZR. So this is a 2016. This is the 900S. It's a 60-inch. It's got the EPS, or electric power steering is what it is. That EPS has 2 relays under the dash that are prone to failure, or at least they have failed in the past, and you got to be careful there. Polaris will charge you $1,100 or $1,200 to replace the actuator. Okay. Polaris will charge you a whole gob of money to replace the actuator, which replaces those relays. A lot of times a relay is a buck or less. So I have fixed a few of these for $1. That power steering relay. It's easy to change and takes care of that problem. So before you if your power steering just quits, you know, all of a sudden, before you haul it to the dealership to replace it, check those relays. Could save you a whole lot of money. Oh, and by the way, if you go to Polaris and try to buy the relays, they've never heard of them. So, all right, there's the remote. This has the Warren winch on it. I'm just going to pop the hood here, show you a couple of things before we get started. Okay, under the hood, I have a box, and it happens to be covered with mud and water right now. Okay, and this is the interface right here, this box. And it's the interface between the diagnostic plug, or diagnostic port anyhow, for the RZR, And it also ties in the oxygen sensor that we added to this razor. Okay, and then that cable, or that box, is tied to this cable. This cable runs over the dash, around the corner of the windshield here, to the warranty killer box that sits on the dash. And I am not keeping all of these parts. I am simply renting them from Warranty Killer. This is the Dyno Jet box. Okay, that box comes down here to my laptop, okay, which is a piece of junk. Old Dell that takes about 5 minutes to start every time you restart it. And so when I plug in the Power Vision box, oops. Okay, when I plug in the Power Vision box, I get this screen right here that comes up as D drive on my computer. And here's what the tune files look like. Okay, so these are tune files, the triangle shaped Warranty Killer logo. And so those are custom tunes just for my vehicle. Actually, the one on the left is the stock tune, so that at any time I can reflash the original tune. Okay, that would never work for this razor because that's for the old 900 engine. And so then the one on the right is the current tune that we're just getting ready to flash. And we're going to put that tune on the ECU. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of this here. Okay, so with the laptop plugged into it, I want you to be able to see this. We're going to have to get close. Okay, so the laptop is plugged in. We're actually going to turn the key on. We're going to hit the home button here. Okay, and it's going to ask us, so there's a menu here, flash tune, vehicle tools. You can see that. Device tools, Bluetooth settings, help. Okay, so we want flash a tune. We're going to select that. And then you see we got two choices. We have the 975 DJT, and then we have the stock tune. And that's the two tunes that you saw on the laptop. Go back to that. 1 second here. So I need to make sure that I am flashing this custom tune, VMB550A5 E3975. Okay, so since that is correct, and that's the one that they just sent me, those numbers mean nothing to anybody but this razor. Okay, so that's all that means. So I'm gonna hit OK here. And we're gonna tell it to go ahead and flash that tune onto this razor. Okay, it's asking me again, do you want to use that file? And I say yes. So it says preparing. This part is scary. It says erasing. So it actually is erasing the old tune off of the ECU right now. Actually, that might not be scary because it wasn't doing much. You'll also see it on the display here, the MFD. You got two lights on your check engine light and a whoa, there's something going on code light. Okay, and that happens when you flash the ECU. And when it's done, you'll see those lights turn off. All right, it was done erasing. It automatically went to writing. When I edit this video, I will chop out the whole middle section of this writing for you, because there's no sense in you sitting there watching the numbers slowly go up to 100%. All right, it just finished. It says flash complete. To verify the flash, turn the key off and then on. Okay, so first time I did this, I just shut the key off and I simply turned it right back on. Okay, I just shut the key off. Obviously that goes dead. Actually, the only reason this stays on is because it's being powered by the laptop right now. And so at some point, I think Warranty Killer sent me a message one day, and they said after the flash, when you turn the key off, you should wait 45 seconds for all of the power to discharge from the circuits before you power it back on. And I did not do that the first couple of times, and I don't know that it made any difference. But ever since then, I've followed their rule. All right, so we're going to turn the key back on now. Okay. Now it says, oh, and then let's go over here to the MFD. Multi-function display. It's blank now, or there's no codes now. All right, then it says press the enter button, basically. All right, and when we do that, it's showing the first 4 channels that we could be recording data on: pedal position and air fuel ratio 1. And I could be viewing, 12 channels or something like that. Maybe there's more, I can't remember. A lot of channels at a time, but when I'm out driving, I don't have time to look at anything but those top 2 numbers, and that's really what I'm concerned with. When the thing is running and I'm driving, I don't want to see it run any leaner than 14:1, really. Maybe 14.5:1 max. If we start seeing 15s or 16s, we're going to shut it down and we're going to idle back home with it. And then the other one, pedal position, is kind of interesting because they've actually told me a few times. They said, hey, what I want to see in your data logging is some full speed runs from 0 pedal position all the way to 100, and then let it max out at top speed. And they've told me just run it slowly and evenly up the throttle. And when I can watch it on the screen there, pedal position, it's a 0 to 100%. And that's actually an invaluable tool to have when you're trying to carefully run pedal position, because to be honest, you can push the gas pedal down what you think is halfway, and you could be off 20% pretty easily. So anyhow, that's pretty handy to have. Okay, so that is done. I am going to shut the key back off, and we're going to reach over here and we're going to unhook the laptop, and I'm going to try to keep that USB connector out of the snow. Okay, so we're done with the laptop for now. So it's going to get unplugged, and the power cord somewhere not in the water puddle on the floor. Okay, the computer can sit right there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, I got 30 minutes. I'm gonna throw some clothes on. You go ahead and do an idle log. I'll show you that real quick, because that I can do. I'm gonna have to open the garage door. We'll just go back over here to the dyno jet. So what we want to do is press this small round key here right after it starts. And we're going to watch the cylinder head temperature on here, which I don't know if you can see right now, but we're going to watch cylinder head temp until we are up to 160 degrees. We just want to see the cooling fan come on to know that we're up to temp. Okay, we are going to crank the engine up. Okay, we're going to cycle that fuel pump again. Data logging has commenced. Okay. And at this point, I don't care about anything now but cylinder head temp. So we're just going to watch cylinder head temperature. I'm going to crack the garage door open a little bit. It's got heavy duty billet connecting rods. All the chains, everything inside is new. Anything that drives moves. It's got 3,000 miles on it, and the only reason we had to overhaul it was because of the Bosch fuel pump, the OEM fuel pump, which have failed just en masse on these things. And I was about 35 miles from home one evening. It was getting dark. Okay, we're gonna quit. So we're gonna save that data log right there. Yeah, so it was getting dark, and I had a long ways to go home, and we're in mountain lion territory, pretty heavy out here. And the last thing you want to be is stuck in the woods at night with the mountain lions. So I drove it home. It was running too lean. I knew it wasn't going to be good. And we ended up burning up the right-hand cylinder for sure. So that was the reason for the overhaul. turn off at Belle Jolie Winery. Okay, we're going to turn around. There's a little bit of snow. This is going to be kind of tricky here. We're going to try to do the exact same thing, only a little bit faster. All right, data logging on. Channels, okay. Okay, well, you just watched the last log there on the RZR, logging the air fuel mixture over the course of that run. And I can't remember what happened. The GoPro ran out of battery or something like that. I think that's what happened, was the battery went dead. Anyhow, it shut off right at the end of that. So basically, I mean, that was, we logged those power runs. I came back to the house, took the log files. I kind of wanted to show you that, but I'll show you that because I got some more to do on that. But I took the log files and I emailed them to Warranty Killer, and then they actually sent me back another file already with adjustments. And so to back up a little bit here, I got just a video of plowing some snow, and I haven't posted that yet, but I'll throw that on my channel as well. So we're plowing snow the other day, and all of a sudden I noticed it was hard to shift. And, you know, that's not typical, and it's not a good thing. It's not something that you want to have happen. So anyhow, we finished plowing snow. It got to the point where I had to shut the engine off to shift gears with it. And to make a long story short, I ended up pulling the clutch off, and it's got the DuraClutch on there, which is made by SVI, I believe, and they're out of Minnesota. And there are thousands of DuraClutches now on the RZRs, and I was pretty happy with the clutch, I will say that. And then, so here's what happened is they have these internal clutch packs that work just like a go-kart centrifugal clutch. And it turns out that one of the pads came loose on the clutch pack. And now, just with the engine running at idle, it's like a brake lining. So that pad came off, came loose, and now it's running on the drum all the time. And so as long as the clutch is locked up and it's engaged, that's not a big deal, right? But as soon as you start the engine, what it's doing is it's running the clutch. So whether it's in park or neutral, it's running the clutch, and now I can't shift it. So I pulled the clutch off. I sent an email, or I called DuraClutch, and they said basically, because I've had the clutch over a year, the warranty is expired on it. And I tried to tell them, look, I don't even have 500 miles on this brand new $1,400 clutch, and I think they should stand behind it, you know? I mean, if nothing else, let me send them the whole clutch and they can evaluate it. I mean, all you have to do is look at it and you can tell it doesn't have any miles on it. And besides, how hard would it be for them just to fix, you know, just to replace the one little pad that broke inside there that's coming loose? I've got some video of that. I'll post later. I'll do a little write-up of that clutch and I'll post that. But I'm really ticked off about it. Now that's a waste of money, you know. So I can send the clutch back to DuraClutch, and for a flat rate of $500, they'll fix it and send it back to me. But now I don't trust it. How do I know that, you know, I spend $500 on that primary? How do I know that a month later it's not going to throw another pad, you know? I mean, if it threw one pad, that kind of makes me think that maybe that clutch pack, you know, maybe they had a run of them where the adhesive wasn't very good that glues those linings onto that clutch pack. So ongoing saga with DuraClutch. I'm not happy with them. Would I recommend buying the DuraClutch? No, not now. So not now, not until, and I'm not the first person that's had this problem. It kind of irks me too that for $500 they'll rebuild the clutch. That's a flat, just a flat rate repair. Well, so they would charge me the exact same amount as they would charge somebody that sends in a completely worn out clutch with 10,000 miles on it. For $500 they'll rebuild it and send it back to you. Well, that's not fair because mine is a factory defect. I mean, why did the lining come off of the clutch pack? So, and you're going to charge me $500 to put it back on. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to take the DuraClutch apart and I'm going to take those clutch packs out and I will see what broke and I'll see what we can do to fix it. That sounds like a pretty good video to me because there's a ton of people out there using the DuraClutch. Nobody's talking about replacement parts in that clutch. Nobody repairs them. So, hey, great video, right? Let's take one apart and let's look inside it and let's see how to fix one that's broken. So that video is coming up. But for now, we'll call this good on the warranty killer. Like I said, I've got a little more work to do with them and maybe I can throw in a couple more videos of the warranty killer tune and how that turns out on the RZR. So, all right, as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and we'll see you for more. All right, have a great day. Bye.